Hello there folks, RGB from RGB TV. Welcome back to the channel. And we're gonna go into game number 4 or 5 here. Damn, I forgot which game it is. And the score says 3-1, so we have... Wait, no, the score's incorrect. Wait a second. Yeah, I think the score's correct. 3-1. Zone here on the Protoss, and then we have Byul here on the bottom of the middle of the map. He's on the Zerg. Byul on the name QRER. It means something on the Korean keyboard. I'm not gonna say it all out loud. This is just Byul. Let's just call him Byul. That's what we're gonna do. This is Byul on the Zerg on the bottom of the middle of the map. And what is he gonna do? Is he gonna go for his trademark non-choke, or is he gonna go for the choke build order? Goes for the choke build order, and we have Zone here going for a gateway on the middle. Gateways on the middle. It's kind of, you know, the furthest away you can build the gateways when you do a mid-gate. Because when you're on a corner spawn, this is about the time when you have the money to afford the pylon. You don't want to go all the way into the middle because that just delays your pylon so much more. You better get that pylon as fast as you can and just build the gateways as far away from the pylon as you can, kind of like this. He scouted the middle spawn there first, which is normal because scouting a middle spawn takes the least amount of time. He doesn't assume that Byul is here because he doesn't see anything in the choke point, and he probably would have been scouted by an overlord. Or if he goes in all the way here, he will find the overlord if he is on the 12 o'clock spawn location. So he's just skipping this one. He's skipping the middle 12 o'clock base, and Byul scouts the middle to look for a mid-gate build order. But is he gonna go? No, he's not gonna go all the way. He turns around right around the middle. The overlord does not find the probe. He doesn't see it. They haven't seen each other here, so it's a very close call. He checks the middle bases first. Maybe he did see the overlord after all. He finds a double hatchery. They're morphing in the front. So here's the thing. Byul went for a double hatchery into a pool, which is honestly, the worst thing you can do as a Zerg against a Protoss, building gateways on the middle. He's gonna arrive right here very soon. He's already built on the pylon there in the front. Byul sees and knows the pylon is coming in there. Knows Zone is gonna build a cannon here in the front to hit the hatcheries. But the Zealots are much sooner than he thought he would. Than he thought they would be. The Zealots arrived much too early because he assumed nothing on the middle. Well, there was in fact something on the middle. Something in the front there goes down, builds an egg to keep the Zealots out. He just goes and does damage on the hatchery. Smart choice. Zergling there goes over the hatchery. Tahar tries to kill the probe, but Zone there responds very quickly, saves the probe, keeps it alive. Zerglings are in fact blocked out by the egg as well, so the Zealots can't get in, the Zerglings can't get out. So he goes out there, but the cannons are almost finished up warping in. As all the Zealots are in the front. Triple K in the middle there is strong, and it's so much stronger than it could have been or should have been because the double hatchery came in before the pool. And then the cannons are up, cannons are shooting, doing a lot of damage there on the Sunken. Sunken in the back there stays alive, but this Sunken cannot hit the cannons in the front. This one cannot hit these. These two can, but these two are dying. He's target firing them down with the cannons, making sure that they... Yeah, these are gonna die. Like a third cannon comes in, the Zergers are trying to buy some time, but he's target firing. He actually clicked on the Sunken. Sunken there. Nope, it's not gonna be enough. Not gonna be enough. Cannon there barely stays alive. More Zergers are... He's got 6 drones. I say at this point, Byul is toast. He's gonna lose the 2 hatcheries in the front, which he sunk pretty much all of his minerals into. Then he has no other hatcheries in the back on 6 drones. He's going to maybe try an all-in attack to maybe try and break through the middle, but Zone just keeps adding cannons to make sure that Byul is never ever going to counterattack with Zerglings, because Zone knows the only way Byul can maybe get a win here is if he goes mass Zergling and breaks the cannons. So he just builds a couple more cannons, and gets Zealots there in the front to protect the cannons, and this is just a complete wipeout. A complete wipeout. Byul gets absolutely demolished. And this is purely a build order loss. Like, this is a build order loss if I've ever seen one. Double hatchery before pool against the mid-gate. That is a recipe for disaster. Also, the fact that he built the 2 hatcheries next to each other made it even easier for Zone to damage with the cannons. Like, the double hatchery next to each other is great against single zealots trying to attack, but add in the cannons just outside of sunken range and it becomes a completely different story. Zone played this one perfectly. Byul got ass blasted right into the stratosphere. So I'm gonna put win number 4 there, and I'm gonna very quickly check if the score is actually correct or not. Okay, the score is in fact not correct. Zone has 3 wins, not 4. Now we're gonna go into game number 5. So we have 3 wins for Zone, 1 win for Byul. Byul is in a pretty bad spot. He's pretty far behind. It's gonna be very difficult to climb himself back into the series. Being behind by 2 is not the end of the world, but history has shown that once you're behind in a series by more than 1 loss, so 2 or 3, the chances of making a comeback become smaller and smaller, specifically when you're playing Zerg or Terran against a Protoss specialist like Zone. Zone truly is a Protoss specialist, and he goes for a mid-gate yet again. Looks like he really is a mid-gate enjoyer. He enjoys the mid-gate a lot, and once again, pretty close to his choke, so in the case that the mid gets scouted again, he might once again not find it. Although this time around, Byul goes to the 9th spawn location. Probe is scouting. Probe will not see the Overlord. The probe will be long gone before the Overlord arrives right here. Goes for a hatchery. First, he's going to go for double hatchery or for hatchery pool. When you're on a corner spawn like this, basically, if you do not have the situation from last game, a double hatchery is okay. It's okay. But is he going to go for double hatchery? I don't know. He might go for hatchery pool. Okay, it's a double hatchery. Double hatchery pool. Which still puts him in quite a bit of risk against the mid-gate, but a lot less risk than the previous game. In the previous game, it was just the worst case scenario, purely from build order choices. And the Overlord scouting the middle, making Byul think he is safe, which he wasn't. So the pool there coming in. Zone is scouting all the wrong bases, but he's probably going to scout the 11 o'clock base with the zealots that are going to be coming out very soon. Byul is delaying his Overlord by quite a lot by building an extractor and then building a drone. He's really delayed his Overlord by a lot. There's a couple more minerals coming into the bank than usual. This might actually be one of the games where he might have wanted to get a slightly faster sunken. Goes for hatchery number 3, 4 total, and a sunken there, and a sunken. Notice how he builds a sunken right here, not right here, because you want to protect everything. If you build the sunken right here, this little section on the top corner is not really protected as well, because zealots can still walk right here and attack the hatchery. So he builds it right there, so it protects everything, everywhere, all at once. Yeah, Zone is just... Zone did everything except scouting the 11 o'clock base. Everything except scouting the 11 o'clock base. And does he see the Overlord? Nope. I think Zone is a little bit confused now. Like, if his zealots had arrived here much sooner, Byul would have been in, I wouldn't say danger, but the situation wouldn't be as good as it is for him right now. But the fact that Zone took so long to find him... Probe there, under attack, gonna keep it alive, gonna pull it towards the zealots. Zealots are moving forward for the attack. Sunken number 2 there on the way. Couple Zerglings are blocking. Not yet blocking. Goes for the pylon, but zealots respond to kill the Zerglings, killing the pylon. One onto the drones. Everything else onto the zealots. A lot of Zerglings spawning. Zone is actually doing quite well here. This is a lot of damage Byul doesn't want to take. Like, look at him. A lot of his drones are not mining. That is terrible news. More Zerglings are on the way. He does not have enough zealots to kill the sunken and kill the Zerglings, so he's just going to try to get a couple more drone kills, and he gets... I think he got like, he was on 12 drones in total, maybe 14, now down to 6, so that was a pretty good hit there from Zone. It's going to be extremely difficult for Byul in this game to claw himself back. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I don't think a player like Zone is going to let this slip out of his hands. Already setting up a pretty good container in the front. Building a couple cannons. He might build a robo here in the front, get a Nexus there in the back, Cybercore on the way as well. There's one gas finished, another one on the way. Whereas Byul is currently trying to replenish his drone count. Zone could honestly send in his Zealots and do some damage. He's deciding to play it safe. Scouts first with, I think, one of the lower HP Zealots. Yeah, that one was already a little bit on lower HP. Goes in, sees one Sunken through there on the way. A lot of Zerglings there. Gets one hit off on a drone. Yeah, he's just gonna stay here for now. No point in risking this when all you gotta do is progress the game, get your technology, and not lose units pointlessly. No risks needed. Just play it out safely, safe and sound, be secure, follow the plan, and you will win. He's putting pressure up onto Byul. Byul has a lot of Zerglings, but he needs more drones. He needs a lot more drones. Slowly pushing forward the cannons. Robo there on the way here on the side. The cannons are there to protect the robos. Robo number 2 there, also on the way. Zealots protecting the cannons as they're warping in to make sure that the Zerglings don't kill them. Zone is playing this methodically, and honestly, he's playing this correctly. No risks. He's dotting his I's, crossing his T's, doing everything as the manual instructs him to do. Armor on the way. Not going for attack, going for armor first. Byul is getting a high-risk den there in a pretty good spot. One Sunken there in the front. Cannons getting close to the hatchery. This is now going to become pretty dicey. It's going to be a race against the clock. Sunkens first or cannons first. Zerglings coming in, Zealots attacking forward. Now is the point in time where Zone has to start sacrificing some Zealots in order to stop those Sunkens from finishing up. But the Zerglings are buying a lot of time, but he's also buying time for his own cannons. Who is going to win this exchange? Yeah, the Zealots are not going to win this one. The Sunkens there behind the hatcheries did so much damage on those Zealots that this fight there was a much needed win for Byul. Zone, I was praising Zone so much for not taking too much risk by not throwing away units that he didn't have to throw away, and well, right there and then he does throw away a lot of his units. But 42 probes, 32 drones. A couple more hatcheries on the way. Reavers are in production. He's getting damage first. No shuttle speed because he doesn't need shuttles, he just needs Reavers with damage. Zoning, adding on a couple more cannons, still producing from triple gateway there on the middle. Getting Dragoon range. Mixing in Dragoons as well. Getting Citadel of a Dune. Might go for Settled Speed, might go for Templar's Archive. Although I do think that most of his minerals will be going towards Reavers, not Templars and Storm. Because with 3 gas, he could afford it if he wasn't going to make any Dragoons, but he's also making Dragoons. So the gas he's got coming in at the moment should be enough for 2 Robo Reaver production and Dragoons from the gateways, while also getting upgrades, but probably not enough to get Templars in Storm as well. He's gonna go in for us around on the Reavers. Great move. Reavers doing a lot of damage, with more Reavers spawning. Byul had to go for that move. He had to, but he lost more high-risk than he would have wanted to. He had to. The Reavers being far in front of the cannons exposed them to risk, but Zone responded just on time by pulling the Reavers back just a little bit. He did lose 2 Reavers, but he got a couple shots off with the Reavers, killing a lot of high-risks. Right now, yet again the same. Reavers have to crawl very far forward to do damage. So he's going to try lie in wait there on the side to snipe the Reavers down. But Zone might actually just wait a little bit here and wait for 2 more Reavers to spawn. Oh wait, Zone actually found a way into the backside where the least amount of cannons can hit him. He's going to try to snipe one of the Robos, but nope, forced to retreat. Oh, that was a really good move there though. And he kills one of the Reavers in the front as well. So 2 Reavers down. He's buying himself a lot of time, but he has very few drones. Very few units as well, but he's making the most of what he's got at the moment. He's touching and feeling with his hands around zone space, around his buildings, around his proxy, around this little section, looking for some damage he can deal, and he found the perfect spot. This is what makes Byul such a great player. You recognize that these robos are not protected by the cannons. This is where I'm going to fight. This is where I'm going to fight. Plus, most of the reavers were on the left side, not on the right side, making it an even better position to fight from. But now we're at 64 probes there for Zone and 29 drones there for Byul. Zone is snowballing out of control. He's getting more gaves on the middle, getting more upgrades. We don't have a lair yet there for Byul because he cannot afford to get any lair upgrades. He can't even afford to get the lair itself because he has to spend all of his minerals and gas on Hydralisks. Goes in with a great attack again from the right side. Reavers are spawning, Reavers are dying. Reavers are dying really quickly. Byul is making good moves. He's making great moves. But he didn't kill enough. Like, the thing here with Byul's moves is that they are great. Like, these are likely the single best moves he can make to try and salvage the game. But I don't think salvaging the game is possible because he's literally using every single of his larvae. Every single one for Hydralisk. So his economy is not scaling up. Whereas Zone's economy continuously keeps scaling up. He's forced to just produce Hydralisks and Zerglings and more Hydralisks. Protoss can get economy and units at the same time. Zone has spiraled out of control. He killed one robo, getting a couple zealots. The Reavers are behind the cannons there though, so the Reavers are in a great position. And he's losing his entire army yet again. He's getting 6 drones at the moment, which helps a little bit. But not when you're on half the amount of workers as your Protoss enemy is. More robes are on the way, more gateways are on the middle. He's got, well, it's not a lot of gateways, it's 8 of them. But it's just enough to keep production going, to keep the pressure up. So far, Byul has been doing amazing. Not a lot of players would do this well in this situation and would probably have already died. I know I would have died already. I know most players at the top of this game would have already died here. Oh no, he's going to go for the Templar Storm, walks right on in there, hits the Storm, they're on the drones, and all the drones are dead and gone, and that is the game. Great attack, they're on the side, once again sniping the Reavers, but oh no, lost all of his drones, got 6 remaining. That Templar just walking in there is a beautiful move, which I like doing myself as well. Just send it in with a Zealot, just walk up in there. No need for a shuttle, you do not need a shuttle, you just walk in there, throw the Storm down, and you kill some drones. Most Zerg players do not expect it to happen. Because why would you? Why would you expect the Templar to just walk in there and storm your drones to Kingdom Come? You don't. You simply do not. It's a matter of time now before Byul calls GG, sending his Hydralisk there once again to poke and kill some stuff, but the upgrades are already a little bit in the advantage of Zone. 1 armor, 1 attack, 0-0 there for the Hydralisk there for Byul. Reavers are crawling very far forward. Nope, not a great move there from Zone. He keeps gifting these Reavers to Byul. But it should be over. Very few Hydralisks, a lot of gateway units, and Reavers crawling forward. We've got 4 robos, a lot of cannons are on the scene as well. He's just gonna march forward with an attack move and let his units do the attacking, do the fighting. And he's just gonna keep sending and producing and making scarabs all at the same time. 87 probes, he's rich, he's very rich, although he's spending his minerals very quickly as well. So yeah, Byul loses gain number 5 as well. Things are not going too well for Byul here. Things are not going too well for Byul. He just keeps on losing to what I think are build order disadvantages. Every single time Zone picks the better build order, there is some gambling and some risk involved in the early game. The build order you decide to go for has a lot of impact on what happens during the early and the mid game. And a common theme so far this entire series has been that Byul tries to cut corners, tries to get himself a small little lead by cutting some corners somewhere. Because if the corners are cut successfully, as we saw in game number 1, then Byul gets himself into the lead. But if the corners are cut unsuccessfully and he, somehow crashes his car off the road while he's trying to cut the corner, yeah, that is not really going to be beneficial for you. You're going to be losing the game. And so far, the last 4 games, everything has been a build order loss for Byul. Zone just keeps selecting the correct build order to counter Byul's greed, and I think that is calculated. Zone recognized from game number 1 that Byul loves to cut corners, loves to get himself into a lead by just not obeying the rules. And Zone has been giving him an honesty check. Has been telling him, nah, you're gonna be following the rules, just like I am. Or otherwise, I'm gonna rush you. And every single time, the rush from Zone has dramatically damaged Byul. Byul is playing like he's expecting a Nexus first build order from the Protoss. And guess what? We actually get a Nexus first here from Zone. He did it in game number 1, and then didn't do it for game number 2, 3, 4, and 5. But now in game number 6, back to the Nexus first and a Forge on a corner spawn, and Byul is actually going for a double factory build order. He got supply depot on 8 and a gas on 8 as well, and then of course he gets the barracks right after, and that way he will have about 450 minerals and 200 gas by the time the barracks finishes up, so that he can build 2 factories at the same time. It is perhaps the best fast factory build order you can do. Yep, about 450 gas, 450 minerals, okay, maybe 500. But yeah, he had about 200 gas, about more than 400 minerals. There's gonna be a second depot. That's the plan, basically. You can build the factory depot all about the same time. All at about the same time. And if you want to, you can build a bunker as well, with the 100 minerals he has right now. But he decides not to, and that is quite risky. But this time, the risk he's taking actually works out for him. Because Zone has no units to attack. Nothing at all. He's building a Zealot, but the one single Zealot is not going to do too much. It's not going to do too much. 1 cannon in the front. Goes for a 3rd factory. This is great for Byul. Byul recognized, oh, you're going for a Nexus first into a Forge into a Choke. That means I can very safely go for a very hyper-aggressive build order. I can go for a 3rd factory. You haven't yet found me. That's also something Byul is calculating, or factoring into his calculation. He knows that Zone hasn't found him yet, because Zone for some reason always skips out on scouting the spawn location right next to him. He always skips out on the base right next to him, because he's expecting that his opponent will scout him if they're right next to each other. Like, the reasoning doesn't make much sense if you think about it a little bit more than just your initial thought. So he has 2 vultures, 2 marines, going for machine shops. 1 factory has no machine shop, because he only needs 2 machine shops to get mines, siege mode, and speed. So it's still on 1 single factor, as 1 single refinery. He's getting a lot of gas into the bank, which he is doing for double tank and a siege mode, I assume. He's gonna go for his siege mode very soon. Once he has 150 gas, he might go for a command center as well. But I don't see him put an SCV into position for the 2nd command center. He actually lifted a barrack into Zone's base to make a marine to scout the base to see what Zone is up to. And there he finds that Zone is doing a pretty standard build order. Support bay on the way. It's actually a single robo build order, not a double robo. And that might be because he's planning on going for more gateway units on a single robo. Oh wait, there's robo number 2. I was wrong. Oh no, he cancels robo number 2. Because he is expecting to get attacked right here. He instead builds a Temple's Archive. I think the probe there saw the marines and vultures moving. He is now assuming that he is getting attacked, and yes, he is getting attacked. Byul is going for a standard attack without sieges, attacking the tanks right on ahead. Dragoons are on the way there from Zone, which is the correct choice. Dragoons are what he needs Mines are almost finished up. Going to snipe those settlers on the bottom corner. He's pulling them back towards the cannon. Zone is in danger here. And this is, again, an example of where the build order just happened to really favor Byul. But this time around, Byul did not really cut corners. This time around, there was no gambling involved. This time around, he actually perfectly did what he had to do. So he kills the front, depowers the Robo. Reaver's on the way, but the Reaver can no longer spawn because it is unpowered. Dark Templars, though, are on the way, but Dark Templars will die to the mines because the mines are all over the gateways. He's going to try to take down the structure there on the right side. We have cannons going up there on the north side. The tank is still there in the front, killing the Robo. Dragoons are triggering the mines. He's flying to forward. He's checking with the shuttle. Oh, he's trying to trigger the mines. He's going to pick up the Dark Templars and going to fly them into Byul's base. Byul does have turrets in his base, but no units in his base. No units in his base. Sees the turrets, turns around, flies back home, because he's assuming that there are units in Byul's base and that there are turrets everywhere. He's wrong. There's one turret in the middle, and two on the side, one on the front. He's using the Dark Templars to kill the mines, explodes the tank. That was great. That was good. That was really good. Somehow he has microed his Dark Templars in such a way that they can trigger mines, hit the mines, and survive. Which is not something that's very common. Most of the times when people try to do this, the Dark Templar dies. But Zone apparently has some pretty good micro skills under his belt. Goes in yet again. We're on Triple Factory. We have Goliaths on the scene. Byul really... I was praising Byul for not cutting corners, but he's cutting corners right now. Right now. He cut corners to build double command center and not produce a lot of units. He didn't produce a lot of units. So we have another factory on the way, so Triple Factory at the moment. Zone is transitioning away from his drop technology. He did get another Robo, but he's largely focused on just getting a lot of gateways because he saw what Byul did. He saw that Byul has Triple Factory and not a lot of Goliaths or tanks. Going for the triple command center in the back here might have been too greedy from Byul, because Byul did kill the frontal section there, did kill a bunch of units, but didn't do any damage on the economy. And a double Nexus start opening does give you all the probes, does give you a lot of money. So Zone is reading what Byul is doing really well, with a couple tanks there on the side. Factory number 5 is on the way, getting engineering beta on the side as well to get vision on the high ground. He's scouting the entire side here on the right to see if there is something here that can detect and see his shuttle, which is flying. Oh, that's not a shuttle, this is Zeldit. Did he just kill his High Templar? He just sent a vulture in, or a mine killed the High Templar, I think. I'm not sure. Something died here, I didn't see what it was. Yeah, so Byul is slowly getting bigger. Byul is slowly getting bigger, but the Zone is much bigger. 70 probes, double shuttle. He's getting 2 more shuttles. Getting a starport somewhere as well to escort those shuttles in with the Corsair. Getting more gateways, a lot more gateways. He's gonna be maxing out very soon, and Byul does have defenses. He's got mines, a couple tanks. But it's only 4 tanks. It's only 4 tanks. 2 more on the way. He's on 6 factors at the moment. Byul is progressing as fast as he can. Scans the entire base that Zone has and sees a lot of gateways. That might not be what he was expecting. I think Byul is going to make some adjustments to his plan right now, because he really went for anti-drop. He really focused on anti-drop. But now he might have to focus on anti-frontal attack. Because that is perhaps what's... Oh, wait. Wait. Am I wrong? I'm wrong. I'm wrong, guys. I'm wrong. Zone is, in fact, going for a mass drop. But is a mass drop something Byul was expecting? Goes in. Starts unloading everything. -6 Templar on the scene. Templar calling forward. Templar ready to storm. Templar storms. But he misses the misses the correct side, storms the wrong side. Most of the SCVs do survive, but there's a lot of zealots in the base. That is a problem. That is a problem. Oh no, this is terrible for Byul. Byul is taking a lot of damage. Not mining at the moment because the Templar is still alive there in the back. Gotta kill that one first. Another drop over to being prepared. They're back at home there for Zone. Zone is building a new army as well, getting upgrades for everything at the same time. Byul has to move tanks that are spawning to defend here in the back. The entire bottom corner of it has been taken down. Zealots are attacking to the front door there, but that's not really going to do too much because we have tanks and mines in the front there. Kills all of the vultures with the mine. Unless yet again, is there a Templar in between? It's just Zealots. But even if it's just Zealots, that is some lethal amounts of damage. Zone just decided to go for the exact best thing he could do. Even better than I thought it would be. Does he have upgrades there on the Zealots? Level 1 armor, level 1 attack. Yeah, strong Zealots. We have level 1 there on... Wait, oh, drop unloads yet again. Oh my god, Byul is absolutely getting torn apart. Byul is absolutely getting torn apart here by the drops. Going for the commander there. He's got to repair the commander. User coming from the top to the bottom to try and defend and keep it alive. Perhaps attacking the CC was not the best choice, but it's quite low. Maybe he can kill it with another attack. He's now attacking to the front door because the Zealots that are Templar killed the tanks that are on the side. It's almost stayed alive. Reaver on the scene, Scarab on the chase, kills a bunch of those SCVs. Reaver does go down, pays the price for his crimes. But Zone just has to keep on sending, and Byul will bleed out. Byul is going to bleed out after getting absolutely demolished. The game started out really well. I thought that Byul was in the lead after that opening, but he went for triple command center and delayed his unit production perhaps a little bit too much. And oh, double high Templar on the scene, storms everything. They're in between. Down to 3 SCVs, 225 minerals. Like, it's just these 3 SCVs still alive. Archon-morphing units everywhere in the base. Scans Zone's entire base, and he realized that perhaps he might have made some mistakes. I was giving Byul so much praise this game of going for a build order and a strategy and a playstyle that didn't cut corners, and then he started cutting all the corners after I gave him praise and respect for not cutting corners. And so far in every single game but the first one, cutting corners and trying to min-max has backfired. It is all backfired. He tried to squeeze through the tiniest narrow space, and instead of getting through there, he got stuck. He got stuck in the tightest, narrowest space, much like a cave diver, and just got stuck. And nobody could rescue him. And Zone just took him down into the earth with him. Thank you for watching. This was RGB TV. This is the end of the series with Zone winning 5-1 against Byul. Very strong Protoss player. His bases are not very pretty, but his bases are super effective for his playstyle, which is all centered around non-stop aggression. Just non-stop aggression, trying to maximize the effectiveness of every move he makes.